privilege to present to you our speaker for this morning, Mr. Shekhar Ramamurthy. So let's put our hands together to welcome him. Shekhar-san, it's my privilege to share with you his background. Mr. Shekhar Ramamurthy is the Managing Director of the United Breweries Limited, UB, and I sought his permission whether I can fondly call him as the beer man of India. He has spent nearly 3 decades in this industry. Permit me to read from his CV. Shekhar Ramamurthy-san is an alumnus of IIT Delhi and Indian Institute of Management, Calcutta. He's been with the UB group since 1989, nearly 3 decades, and has been in several roles across the group. He joined in the corporate planning function and soon after moved into marketing role with what is now the United Spirits Limited. He spent many years in the spirits business in marketing and sales before joining United Breweries as the head of marketing and sales in '99. He took on greater responsibilities as the deputy president of UBL and then became the joint president of the company from 2012 and took over as the managing director since August 2015. He's been really one of the integral parts of the great story of UB, and it's my pleasure and privilege to welcome him. And let's start this morning by listening to a great believer in operational excellence, and he'll tell you how they have been driving this and their beliefs. Thank you very much. Welcome to you, sir. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. And thank you very much, Jan, for a very generous introduction. Beer man of India sounds very grand. I'm not that. I'm just a simple guy who does a job. And I must say, Jayant is a guy who actually opened my mind to this. And I've not sought his permission, but I will say I call him my guru in this. He took a small session for UB senior management team over a decade ago, where, and those of you who know him will know that he does this in a very engaging style. With his inimitable sense of humor and engaging style, he introduced the concept of Kaizen and Gemba and Mura, Muri, which I've never forgotten. So thank you, Jack. And thank you, Mr. Grover, for inviting me here. It's my privilege to be here amongst all of you believers. I will not talk to you about United Breweries Limited. That's not what I'd like to do here. What I'd like to do here is share my belief and my views on what is operational excellence and what is relevance. As Jan read out to you that I'm an engineer by training, I call myself a lapsed engineer. Yeah, long ago. But I've been in management, running businesses for a very, very long time. And I'd like to say that I understand this concept and I believe in this concept. The Giant has borrowed some of the ideas I want to talk to you about in his keynote address. I think he took a sneak peek at my presentation, but let that be as it may. You guys know all this. I just want to give you my view. What is operational excellence? Is it about making improvements every day in what you do? But before I go on, I want to share something with you which occurred to me while I was listening to Jan. We live in a world for now many decades. All of us, a few decades that we work, we always are told that we must work for improvement. And premise behind that, and if I may say, use a little bit of philosophy, premise behind that is that tomorrow will be better than today, right? And today is better than what it was yesterday. That's the fundamental philosophy that we all are taught. We're not born like that, but we're taught that. That today is better than what it was yesterday. Tomorrow will be better than what it is today. How many of you have read Yuval Noah Harari? Just show of hands. Not too many. I would say please read. It's incredible. He is this Israeli author who's written books called Sapiens, Homo Deus, 21 Lessons for the 21st Century. Seminal books. He gets invited to by Google, etc. to talk. But one of the thoughts he says, he mentions in his book, that this whole concept of tomorrow being better than today is about 200 years old. Mankind before that believed in a zero-sum game. That if a king had to prosper, he had to impoverish the neighboring kingdom. He had to loot and plunder. It was a zero-sum game. Adam Smith was the first economist, I think in 1786, wrote a book called Wealth of Nations, who said, nations can prosper without impoverishing other nations. So, this concept that tomorrow is better than today, or tomorrow will be better than today, and today is better than yesterday, in the history of mankind is not very old. We take it for granted, and it is very important. So, what is operational excellence? Can you have operational excellence without strategy? Can a young engineer in a factory, can a young doctor in a hospital, can a driver driving for a logistics company be better without strategy? Answer is obviously no, but strategy is integral to operational excellence. So first, what is the strategy of whatever you're doing? Leadership. And we all talk about leadership very loosely. What is leadership? And I'm not here to give you what leadership is. It's a big subject by itself. But unless leadership believes in the strategy, which it has to set, engages everybody in that strategy, you cannot have operational excellence. Not every day, not any day, not by somebody, not by anybody, because you must have strategy. And the leadership must embrace it. Culture, and this, there are endless discussions on culture. What is culture? What is our culture? And very often we hear, oh, that's not possible in India, it's possible in Japan, or that's not possible in India, that's possible in China. Again, I'm not here to give you whether what works in China or Japan or Germany can or cannot work in India. That's not my point, and I'm sure each of us has our views, and culture is a very integral part of anything we do. You must be sensitive to culture. But culture is about, as Stanley's put there and videos which are being shown there, it's about attitude, it's about belief, it's about behavior. It's all three. Culture is not what you read in the Ramayana, Mahabharata. Culture is attitude, belief, and behavior. And it's a concept. And unless we embrace it, and we must embrace it. And culture can be different in any different workplace. Because then it links back to strategy, links back to leadership. And once you have all that, you must have excellence in execution. So you can have fantastic strategy, you can have fully leadership which embraces it. You can have the right culture, unless you execute well, you will not have operational excellence. So to me, this is the core. Before you start talking operational excellence, and I say you, all of us, I think we need to pause and embrace this. This is, to me, the root of it, the fundamental aspect. Now you might wonder why you have, most of you are Indians here, but why would you have a visual of a fast bowler, a kitchen, mop, and bucket to signify housekeeping? My question is operational excellence relevant? When I say manufacturing, I mean business. Is it only relevant to business? Is it only relevant to factories? Is it only relevant to hospitals? Is it only relevant to service industries? Is the concept of mura muri only relevant to business? And my answer is no. Let's go back to where I started in slide 1. It's about strategy, it's about leadership, it's about culture, it's about execution. Now I have, as Chan made a mention of personal mura, and my cupboard in my home is full of mura, and I tell my wife, please don't interfere with my cupboard, leave some privacy. But she says it's a mess. I said, I know it's a mess. But I'm conscious. I know I have to eliminate it. So why have I put a cricket player? And I'm passionate about sports. To me, that's I love sports. I love what job I do, but I also love sports. So to me, a bowler, the best of bowlers, how does he eliminate mura? If he bowls no balls and wides, that's mura. So you tell a bowler, don't bowl wides and no balls, because that's total mura. So you practice to eliminate waste. So you improve, to Jan's point, by eliminating waste. First, take mura out of your bowling. Now, what about mura? There's no point bowling 3 or 4 good balls and 2 bad balls. Completely inconsistent. You eliminated no balls and wides, but you bowled 2 bad balls in an over, and those of us who love cricket know what happens. What about bowling? As the team depends only on one bowler to do everything, and the team's not going to get anywhere. So similarly, a chef needs to organize himself to eliminate waste, to sequence activities, to be consistently delivering the same taste, the same quality, and so on and so forth. Same with housekeeping. So to me, operational excellence is not only about business. Now you may say sports is business. Yes, it is business. It's entertainment, it's everything. But it's about embracing the concept of elimination of waste, of being consistent in delivery, and being conscious that we can't overburden any one part of the system. And that's what I mean in my first slide about culture. Believe in it. Unless you believe in it, it's not, you don't leave your office or factory and go home and say, now I've done with OE. No, you can't, because you need to embrace it. I just want to spend 2 minutes about this, though I've spoken about this and all of you are aware that you can't have operational excellence unless leadership. But what is about leadership? It's not just having hierarchy. Of course, every organization will have hierarchy. Even those who say we don't have designations have hierarchy. That's life. You need to have it. Leadership is not only about empowering people. Very often I hear in meetings, in my own organization too, that we have embraced operational excellence, or they call it TPM or Kaizen, because I have empowered my workmen. No, sir, go talk to them. They will tell you what they're doing. But to me, that's only one part of leadership. Leadership needs to share their vision. Unless you share your vision, unless you inspire people, unless you lead the change, there will be no operational excellence. Then it will be, I have a TPM meeting every second month where I will review things. I am ticking a box. I'm a leader, I'm ticking a box. That I have empowered my people, they're doing what they have to do, because, as Jayan jokingly said, in my KRAs I have TPM, a review every 2 months, and I can report to my board that I have done all this. You have to share your vision. You have to inspire people. Now again, like I said, I'm not here preferring solutions, how you inspire people, what you do to inspire people. Each of us has our own ways of doing it, but I just want to leave the thought here that it's very, very important. But why do operational excellence? Why do it? To reduce cost, of course. To improve quality, of course. To have better on-time delivery, of course. But why do we do all that? To me, it's the consumer, the customer. Unless it all ties into customer-consumer centricity, operational excellence is irrelevant. You don't do it for yourself. Of course you do it for yourself, but you do it because you're part of a system which is serving consumers, which is serving customers. And that's very important. Because when you are, we operate 21 breweries of our own, we have 10 breweries on contract, we have several hundred salespeople, an organization of 8,000 people, and many organizations have more than that. Now, if you are somewhere in some outpost and somebody says operational excellence, I want that person to say, I'm doing it because there's a consumer. In our meetings, I tell my quality people that to say we had only 5 quality complaints last month is 5 too many. What's that happen? That happened. That's 5 too many. Because those 5 people will talk to 20 people. So you've lost a lot of sales. You've lost many consumers. Customer centricity, consumer centricity, to me, is the reason we must do operational excellence. And if we all embrace that, then it becomes very simple. Why we do it? And to me, and I'm just trying to link back to the slide before, that's what leadership needs to communicate. You inspire people to share your vision by saying to them, all of us need to work for the consumer customer, because ultimately it's that consumer customer who pays our bills, who pays our salaries, who sustains our lifestyles. Let's come back to fundamental economics. If the consumer is not satisfied with us, our personal economics also will suffer, along with the economics of the enterprises that we are in. This is a beautiful chart one of my colleagues helped me put together. We are all familiar with this, and I am leading to something from here. The Industrial Revolution started with the steam engine. We all know. It changed the way the world operated. That's when people started believing that tomorrow will be better than today, and today is better than yesterday. Right? Then, sometime later, a few decades, 100 years later, a couple of hundred years later, we got into mass production, efficiencies. That's what we call Industry 2.0. Industry 3.0. Again, we all know it. Computers came in, automation came into our lives, and suddenly life was very different. Those of you who lived 2-3 decades ago actively, you would remember, at least in our country, people used to talk about, computers will come and all jobs will be lost. And younger people will think it's funny, but that's how it was 2 to 3 decades ago. Computers will come and jobs will be lost. That didn't happen. We created far more jobs. I have this funny story which I read in a newspaper a couple of months ago. The US Army has developed this unmanned drones for surveillance, etc. Unmanned drones. And there was a time when those unmanned drones could not be used. And do you know why? They had no manpower to use those unmanned drones. So those unmanned drones created jobs which didn't exist before. But where are we now? We are at the cusp, threshold of a next revolution. And for lack of a better description, let's use what is used in common parlance, the digital era, the digital revolution. What is happening around the world today? Life, the world as we know it, is going to get increasingly disrupted, already disrupted by digital, and will get disrupted as we go along by biotech. It will change the way, and it's already changed the way we live. It's already changed the way we live. We take that mobile phone for granted. Again, those of you who have lived in India 30 years ago, 20 years ago, know, we had no telephones. This country had no telephones. We knew how to live without them. Forget internet, we had no telephones. Today, we don't just have telephones. We lead the world in digital. Where we have some of the brightest people in biotech who are going to change the world. It's not about India, it's about the world. So how is it already impacting? And the next few slides is something which you all know. And I'm not going to proffer any answers and solutions. I just want to leave thoughts with you of how do we use the concepts that I've just spoken about: strategy, leadership, culture, and execution to deal with issues which these companies have unleashed. What have Amazon and Flipkart and done? They've changed the way we shop. You want something, I want something, you pull out a phone, check Amazon, order it. 2 days later, it arrives home. So if I were, let's say, the CEO of Lifestyle, what do? Do I improve efficiency of my shops? Do I train people to deal better with consumers and customers, which is the traditional? But my consumer is not walking to my store. Consumer is buying on Amazon and Flipkart, Myntra. And this is people like me, some of you who grown to middle age, going to physical shops. But those who are 18, 19, 20, 25 today will grow up like this. I don't have a solution. I don't even intend discussing, but that's goes back to strategy. And I'm sure if you collectively apply mind, they will find strategic solution to how to deal with it. Because physical shops will not go away, but they need to add value to consumer experience, fulfillment, etc., etc. But these people have disrupted our lives. They've disrupted our lives for the better. I have no doubt about that. But they've disrupted the business model of traditional organizations, whether you sell clothes or electronics or toothbrush or detergent or whatever. In this country, we put so much emphasis on education. Every child goes through tutorials, tutorial colleges to get entries into the premier engineering colleges, into the management institutes. And today it's getting younger and younger to get better marks in grade 10 and grade 12 and so on and so forth. In every city in our country would have that traditional tutorial classes. Depending which city you've grown up in, you would have been to one or the other tutorial classes. Right? What has this gentleman done? Because Shah Rukh Khan is helping him. What has he done? How do you compete with him? Now, if I'm a tutorial class in Bangalore, Chennai, Delhi, and some of them were national. They were, I'm going back to my era, Agarwal classes and Brilliant. They were national, they were not local. They would reach you. In their era, they were modern. They would send you their stuff, you send it back to them, they would mark it, send it back to you with comments, and etc. etc. What is this guy? What has Salman Khan done to the Khan Academy? Before, not as commercial as Bajus, but Khan Academy is more philanthropic. Disruption. All good, huh? Mind, it's all good. For us, as a consumer, I don't run a tutorial class. I don't run a college. But if I do, if I'm in the business, which is that, what do? I have to go back to strategy and think what I do. It can't be operational excellence unless I redefine the strategy. What have these guys done? I don't know how many cities Fresh Menu is, that's the second logo, but it's pretty active in Bangalore. If I'm in the restaurant business, what do I do? Should I just have one kitchen and close down all my restaurants? At Fresh Menu can do that better. What do I do? But is it good for us as consumers? Fantastic. I can get to office, I can have breakfast delivered to me when I want it, I can have lunch delivered to me. Kids want to eat out, you don't want to eat out, food comes home from your favorite restaurant. You don't even pay cash, you pay ATM, credit card. But it's changed the way we eat out. Now, it's a challenge if you're in the restaurant business. And it will only grow. This sector will grow. We are only at the beginning of this, what's happening. This, of course, all of you are familiar. In a country like ours, where public transport is practically non-existent in most cities, and this is not just executives, it's not just the affluent. I have this personal example. I had a television which I needed repaired in my house. And so I had this guy who said he would come, take a look, and take it away. Nowadays you don't have small TVs. It's only TV. And he came, picked it up, so I had to walk him to the gate of the apartment because he's walking out of the TV, the security will stop him. So I said, "Ki aap kaise leke jayenge?" How will you take it? कहता था Uber बुलाया मैंने. ऐसे अच्छा. ठीक. So it is disrupting, and it's all for the good. I just want to emphasize, it's all for the good. None of it is bad. We're not talking about drugs, we're not talking about alcoholism, we're not talking about anything morally, ethically bad. It's all good. It all goes back to the principle of tomorrow will be better than today, and today is better than yesterday, because the overall economy will grow. Adam Smith said that. I am in the hotel business. I have this beautiful hotel, 5-star hotel, fantastic consumer experience. I have this star which will says, yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am, how can I help you? But I have to buy land, I have to put out these expensive hotels. What is Airbnb done? What an app. Any assets? Fancy offices? Connecting millions of people. Brilliant ideas, fantastic idea. And I'm sure many of you have used Airbnb or whatever, so have I. Great experience. First time you do a little bit of trepidation, particularly if you're not so young, because you don't know what it's going to get you. Fantastic. And I had this personal experience with Airbnb where there was something not happening and I was not able to register myself with something, and I made a call. And this call center person, God knows from where in the world, because said to me, and I said to him, thank you very much for helping me and talking me through this. So he says to me, sir, that's what we are there for. I am sold on it. It's just one line saying, sir, that's what we are there for. I don't know him. I don't even know where he is. But he helped me get me and my family an apartment for a week somewhere else in the world. And why did I go to Airbnb? Because I am, like I said, not that young. I wanted a hotel, I couldn't get a hotel. So I said, I can try Airbnb. But everybody's talking about it. And same with OU. So, and I'm now repeating myself, is it good? Of course it's good. Is it good for Marriotts and the Tajes and the Conrads? Not so sure. They have to go back to their strategy. Again, with a little bit of help from Shah Rukh Khan, this is something so personal. You want to go and touch the vegetable. You want to see what it looks like. Is it fresh? You don't have to. Millions of people are now we're not even talking organized business. Now we're talking about vegetable sellers in a country like India who set up little shops. They have got disrupted. Now on one hand we talked of Tajas and Hiltons, now I'm talking of vegetable vendor. So none of us is immune. That's my point. And I can go on, I don't think I have any more examples, but we can go on and on and on in this. None of us is immune. Our lives, and the point I want to make is, today we're talking of digital disruption. Disruption has happened in the world at all times in, let's say, the last couple of centuries. Rate would have been slow. Now the rate is faster. There is always disruption. Automobile disrupted the horse carriage business. Commercial airlines disrupted the ocean liner business. There's always been disruption. Television disrupted radio. And today Netflix and Amazon Prime are disrupting television. So disruption we need to embrace. Change we need to embrace. And we've all been told this, not today, every day. But I'm just linking back to operational excellence, that of course the solution to everything. But you can't say, now let me improve that machine let me improve the checkout counter in my retail store, that won't work. As to Jan's point, look at the whole, not a part. And the whole starts with strategy. Go back to strategy and then work your way to execution. Don't start with execution. I just come back to manufacturing, which most of us are more familiar with. How is digital disrupting traditional manufacturing? It is. It is, and we should insist it does. The whole concepts, fundamental concepts of preventive maintenance, breakdown maintenance, acquisition of machines, needs to be done differently. Why do you, each time there's a breakdown, why do you need to call up the service engineer who will say, I'll come next week? You should have remote maintenance. You should have 3D imaging, and so on and so forth. We had a meeting with one of the global suppliers of equipment a couple of weeks ago, where the global CEO was with us, and they said, how are we doing? We said, we're doing great. What can we do for you? I said, how are you going to help us improve using digital? Do we need to wait a week when there's a breakdown for the engineer to come? Or can we do it instantaneously? I think we need to both demand change, demand it works for us, at the same time be mindful that it will disrupt us. It will not take away any jobs, it's need to retrain people. There must be a fundamental belief. Tomorrow is going to be better than today. But that's the whole financial model of the world of credit depends on tomorrow being better than today. Otherwise, nobody will lend us money. And that's the day banks stop lending us money, tomorrow is not better than today. That's the kind of cutoff. So thank you very much. All I'd like to say is that in all this talk of digital and disruption, let's remember the human hand doesn't go away, the human mind doesn't go away. We need to make technology work for us. We need to make digital work for us. And I just say, go back to strategy, leadership, culture, and execution. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I would request Ulrich-san to please hand over a token of our appreciation, a small memento to our keynote speaker for the morning. Thank you very much, sir. And Mr. Grover, can you join in quickly for a photograph?